What is going on, Delmarva? I'm Spencer Tillis.
I'm Kaylina Speakman.
And this is the Delmarva Sports Insider. Coming up in just a bit in today's episode, we got all kinds of state championship action going on to talk about. The Cape girls lacrosse team was going for not one, not two, not three, not four. Catch up, LeBron. They were going for their 8th straight state title. Only thing standing in their line, or in their way, I should say, was a date with Tower Hill.
And the SU men's lacrosse team headed to Philly in hopes of capturing their 11th state title. Could the Seagulls pull out the win?
Plus, it was Riders versus Panda. The state title game last night in Smyrna. Caesar Rodney looking to knock off the undefeated Padua Pandas. Highlights in just a minute. But we got to start with what was the state title game going on today. Sussex Tech champions just about 4 years ago. Well, they were looking to get that title again. The team before them happened to be the team they were facing off against today, Caravel, one of the best programs from up north. And I tell you what, this ended up being a great game. The Ravens would have a chance here in the top of the first with the bases loaded, one out, but Holly Brooks would get the strikeout right there and then a ground out to get out of the inning. The Bucks then would strike first in the bottom of that frame. Brooks showing that she can swing the lumber as well. Sends that one to right for an RBI base knock as Samantha Esper slides in for the score. A couple of batters later, and this time it's Jennifer Saminsky sending it to right. That'll drop in as Kayla Solblack comes in. That made it 2-0. The Ravens then trying to fight their way back. Madison Watson blasts this thing down the third base line, and check this out. About 10 feet short of being a solo shot. The bats would get going, though. Taylor Collins finds the fence out and right for a double right there, and she would not be there for very long either. Riley Shockley sends this one down the third base line. That's good for an RBI single. Tech back within a run. Taylor Wharton then really started to settle in. Very nice play there on the comebacker. Gets the out at 1. The problem was they just ran out of innings to work with. Sussex Tech could just never push that tying run across. The ground out right here is going to go ahead and end that thing. Caravel ends up taking the crown this year. 2-1 the final over there.
And we've rallied many times this year, and so we were really just competing, trying to do our best. So I didn't really feel the game got away at any point. It just was finished, and they were ahead 2-1.
You know, I think that's actually a very fair assessment of the game. It was weird. The first inning, I mean, like I said, bases loaded, 1 out for Sussex Tech. You go to the bottom frame, they get 2 runs for the Bucks. You go to the top of the next frame, they get a runner on second and third with just 1 out. Couldn't bring it in. It felt like it was going to need about 10 runs to go ahead and win this thing. For some reason, then all of a sudden, both the pitchers kind of settled in, and the pitcher for Caravel, when she found her groove, she had that ball moving. She had all over the place. And the thing is, all season long, Sussex Tech has been an all-or-nothing squad. I don't think they've gone 2 games consecutive without it in a row. They did not get one again today. They didn't get one in the last round against Lake Forest. So that was really surprising. And they're just not a small ball team, and that's what you had to play against that pitcher. It was a tough matchup, and so unfortunately for them, you know, they come up short. But the fact is, they start a freshman at pitcher. They start a junior at first base. They start a junior at catcher. They start a junior in right field. Almost everywhere you look are underclassmen or juniors in this team. Most everybody's coming back. They're going to have a really good shot to get back there next year.
And I mean, they're facing a team like Caravel. It seems like they're good at almost every sport that they touch. And another team that's really good at their sport, what they do is the Vikings. They were looking to capture an incredible 8th straight state title as they faced off against Tower Hill in the state championship game. And the 4 seniors on this team getting ready for their last high school game ever, but they are pumped up. And early on, Cape would strike first as Lindsay Monagle finds Kaylee Thornburg for one of her game-high 4 goals on the night. But the Hillers would respond rather quickly. Isabel Zungalia gets into the crease. She's able to beat the keeper and ties this game up right here. And now it would be the Vikings' turn yet again. Lindsay Frederick is double-teamed, but she finds Mallory Jones. She's able to find the back of the net, and you kind of already know how this goes. The Hillers, well, they would respond again as Abby Manning beats her defender. She's going to find the back of the net, make it a 4-3 game, but Cape is still up in this one. And the Vikings make sure to take over for good. Just before the half, Evelyn Shoup lets it fly, lights up the scoreboard. The Vikings go into halftime pumped up. Second half now, Cape pulls away as Aaliyah Marshall splits 2 defenders and is able to finish. Then the senior, she's going to put it away for good. Frederick with the final of her 3 points on the night. Time expires. Cape caps off their season with another state title, winning it 16-4.
It was literally everything I've wanted out of my high school career. I've just worked so hard for this, and my team has worked so hard for this. There was no other way that I wanted to go out.
It's the biggest relief in the world. Just to know that you have it, like, you've done it, and especially I don't have any more to do. It's just the biggest relief.
I've been coaching high school lacrosse boys and girls for over 50 years. I didn't want to go out a loser. I wanted to end up winning my last one, so, you know, it worked out pretty well.
And first off, winning 8 state titles is just
Not
incredible.
bad.
8 in a row is even better, and to go out on the head coach's final year is just unbelievable. It's like a perfect season. And you look at this team, they're really young. They're only losing 4 girls, so they're going to be back for a 9th title, no doubt about it. I had no doubt they're going to actually do this.
And the fact is, Polytech graduates about everybody, so most of their competition will be gone. But what a boss move by PJ, waiting for the post-game interview to be like, by the way, I'm done. I'm going to go ahead. 8 straight's good for me. Y'all have fun.
There's nothing else I need to accomplish.
And the other really funny thing about that is Tess Bernheimer, also 4-year starter on the field hockey team, 8 state championships between the 2 sports right now. Never lost a game against anybody in Delaware. Pretty solid resume in high school. That's about as good as you're ever going to see. Well, it's time for our first commercial break, but coming up on the other side, we got a couple other titles to talk about. Indian River back in the championship game for the 2nd straight year. Highlights on the way.
Lizzie, Frederick, Cave Henlopen, midfielder, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.